You think discipline is your missing piece, that if you could just push harder, wake up earlier, resist distractions better, your life would finally change. That the people you admire, they must be stronger, more focused, more disciplined. But here's a truth that most people never hear. Self-discipline is a lie. And worse, believing in it is probably what's keeping you stuck. Think about it. How many times have you said, I just need to be more disciplined? And then you created a strict plan. No junk food, daily workouts, 3 hours of deep work, no excuses. You followed it for a while. Then one small thing goes wrong, you skip a workout, you scroll for too long, you break the streak, and suddenly it's over. You feel like you failed. You call yourself weak. You try again and again. And each time you wonder why you can't stay consistent. But the answer isn't that you're lazy. The answer is that you're fighting a battle you were never supposed to win. Your brain was never designed to be disciplined all the time. It was designed to protect you, to avoid pain, to conserve energy, to chase dopamine. Every decision you make but costs mental energy. Every act of resistance drains your willpower. And eventually you run out. This is what science calls ego depletion. The more you resist, the weaker your resistance becomes. And if your entire life is built on self-discipline, then your entire life is built on a time bomb. But here's the twist. The people who seem disciplined, they're not superhuman. They're just not playing the same game. They don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. They design their environments. They automate good decisions. They remove temptation before it becomes a battle. They don't keep junk food in the house. They don't sleep with their phone next to their bed. They don't wait to feel motivated to get things done. They set their lives up so the default path is the right one. That's not discipline. That's design. Imagine this. Two people want to read more. One leaves their phone on the desk, TV in the background, books in the drawer. The other leaves their book on their pillow, puts their phone in a different room, turns off all noise. Who do you think ends up reading? It's not about strength. It's about setup. And yet, society keeps glorifying the grind. We praise people who suffer. We admire the ones who force themselves through pain. We repeat cliches like, no excuses. Discipline equals freedom. Winners do what losers won't. But what if the real winners never had to fight so hard in the first place? Not because they're better, but because they built a life that didn't require constant resistance. So let me say it clearly. Self-discipline is a lie. It's a story that sounds noble, but it breaks the moment life gets messy. Because what happens when you're tired? What happens when life throws chaos your way? You slip, you fail, and you blame yourself. But you shouldn't, because the game was rigged from the start. Real freedom, real growth, it comes from not needing to fight. It comes from removing friction, from designing better habits, from understanding your brain, not trying to overpower it. You don't need to be a machine. You need to be smart enough to build one around you. So next time you catch yourself saying, I just need to be more disciplined, stop and ask instead, how can I make this easier? How can I design this to be automatic? How can I stop fighting myself and start flowing forward? Because progress isn't about trying harder. It's about trying different. It's about building smarter. And it starts the moment you stop believing the lie. Self-discipline isn't the answer. It's the illusion that's holding you back. Let it go, and you'll finally move.